So when I think about the question of like, what have I overcome, it's kind of an interesting one because I don't look at things as having overcome them. I just look at them as, you know, who I am and what's a part of me. So, you know, I didn't have the most like perfect childhood. Like I, you know, certainly look on my childhood fondly, but there were things that weren't good about my childhood and even my teenage years. And I remember on World Mental Health Day last in 2000 and I don't know, I think 3 or 4 years ago, I wrote a really long blog about my experience with, you know, anxiety and depression and mental health. And I remember not wanting to share it, not because, you know, it was hard to write. It was easy to write. It's easy for me to tell my story, but the hard part was sharing it, because then there was, you know, oh, people are going to judge me now, and I don't want people to judge me. And so I ended up sharing the story. First I sent it to just 5 people. I sent it to my closest colleagues at the time, and they all wrote back these like lovely things like, oh Nat, you're an inspiration, like, oh, I would have never known that like that was your past or you came from that. It's like, I mean, why should you know, and why does it matter? Like, why should it matter to who I am today? Like, obviously it's a part of me. I don't pretend that part of my past doesn't happen, and when it comes up in conversation I talk to people about it. But I think it was that really interesting thing of like, people were almost congratulating me, like, oh well, like, you're doing well now. And it's like, for me it's always just been a matter of, well, you just do. Like, it's not about, oh well, despite all the odds, she's like got a great career, or she's got lots of friends, or she's quite a functioning human being, like she's not an alcoholic, drug user, like because she turned to those things, or she, you know. And some people, you know, I get uncomfortable when people label me as like a success story, like you overcome. For me, I didn't overcome anything. I went on with life, and that's what you do. So I like, kudos to people who do like overcome like great hardships and things like that. But I don't know, everyone's got their thing. Like, you know, I've had you know, mental illness and other things in my past. Other people have got other things that have happened to them, and I think I look at it as, you know, it's not about whether you like overcome this thing. Like, obviously I mean, there were times where I didn't deal with it well, but obviously I'm dealing with it now, and it's like, I wonder why people think it's like, oh, you did that, like, that's so great. Is it because they're projecting, or is it because, I don't know, it's just an interesting thought I had. And I guess this started as a story, but isn't really a story, it's more a like self-reflection or something. But I guess the story in it is that, yes, I've overcome some things, if you want to put it in that way, and I've like, you know, but you know, I didn't grow up rich, and I wasn't spoiled, and I'm super grateful for that. I don't feel like I overcame it. I feel like that's what's made me who I am. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't feel like I've got any kind of she overcame all obstacles to be here kind of story. But yeah, that's my thoughts on overcoming things. So yeah, and again, I've gone over the 2 minutes.